Hello, Blood Bowl fans! Here we are with yet another announcement. It seems like I only do announcements on this channel anymore. But there we go, that's the way it is. So you may have seen, if you are part of the league already, or if you happen to be on Steam watching this, you may have seen that there's this new exciting league that's open in the AD English Invitational, and we're going to take a look at it right now. Well, I'm going to take a look at it, and you're going to listen to me taking a look at it, and if there are any questions, hopefully I'll be able to answer them as we go along as well, as I'm of course live, and there are people watching, so if anything is unclear, please do ask me to clarify. Though I'm only going to keep half an eye on chat, because I'm jumping between quite a few tabs here. In the background, you're mostly just going to see the Blood Bowl game. I will create a team at the end, I guess, but it's there mostly for background at the moment, to be honest. Okay, so what is the Open Invitational? It's a very, very confusing league, to be honest. I have no doubt that the reason why the signups have been so slow is because it is confusing. One thing, if you are watching live right now, I have linked the rules in the chat. You can click the link and follow along with me. And anybody watching on YouTube, I've linked the rules there as well. I will also link the Steam sign up on YouTube. I might do it here. I'll think about that in a moment. Anyway, what is the Open League? Open Invitational, sorry. The Open Invitational is our answer to the perpetual problem, which is a funny sentence, but the problem that people have been asking where they want a perpetual league and we don't have a perpetual league. So we have created one, myself and the board helping me put my crazy ideas into reality. That's what the board are for. Really, I'm just a guy who keeps pumping out ideas, and the board are the humans that make my crazy mind into something actually tangible. At least, that's what I tell myself. So the Open League is as follows. You can join with any of the 24 standard races, of course, from humans to halflings, to underworld, to ogres, if you're crazy, and, you know, anything in between. But it also incorporates mixed leagues, which at first sounds a little bit crazy, but these leagues are actually nerfed, so they can fit somewhat in a fair setting with the other teams. Blood Bowl is never fair, of course, but we've added a little bit of balance to the chaos, basically. The reason this is new and completely unique, as I call it, first of all, is that one reason, though I don't think that's a completely unique idea, to be honest. But the second thing is the way that it will actually be grouped. So the divisions that you'll be put into will be based on races. You won't be put into a random division, if possible. You'll actually be classified by the race that you're playing as, assuming that we have enough coaches and teams, of course. If not, then it will unfortunately be a random distribution as every other league. And furthermore, as things go on, of course, you will be grouped by TV as well. And it's going to require quite a lot of numbers to make it all work in the ideal setting, but we do have some fallbacks if the ideal numbers aren't reached. So the main thing is you can sign up with any of the 24 standard races or with a mixed race, and it is much easier if you're reading the rules when you're listening. So I'm going to mostly talk about the mixed races, even though I cannot stress this enough because people don't seem to be catching on. You can play literally any standard team you want. They are welcome as always, as they are made in the game. The mixed teams, however, have been limited, so that's why I'm going to talk about them a bit. So you can join with any of the mixed teams. However, you have to make the team in a specific build. The most important rules are you have 16 people in the team, as normal. This is to open the mixed leagues in the background, so we're at least looking at something. So the mixed leagues are these beautiful bastards and other people. I'll tell you what, let's make the league at the same time. I can kind of talk about it at the same time. Let's go for a human league. Probably won't be the team I play, but let's play them. What should we call them? We'll call them Manchester United. Awesome. We'll be a fish and we'll wear red armor. Fine. No custom teams as well. And stadium. Yeah, that's original. Okay, so 16 max roster as usual. Future balances may be changed, but if you make the team for Season 1, you can keep the same team for Season 2, Season 3, Season 4 without enforcing the changes on the team you've already made. We're not going to force you to fire players that are part of your setup. The important things. In your team, you must have at least 3 linemen. These members can be on the bench, but they have to be in the team. So if you have 14 players, 3 of which are linemen, the rest are all positionals, and the positionals are your 11 players, fantastic, you're crazy. But it's in the rules that you have to at least have 3 linemen. So let's add them to the team first of all. And we'll go for these guys. There we go. 3 linemen in the team. Perfect. When rostering big guys beyond the minimum, and where applicable of course, a stunty with right stuff must be bought as well at a minimum ratio of 1:1. So for this team that doesn't actually apply. However, if for example we were playing with ogres and noblars, if you took 1 ogre, 2 ogre, 3 ogre, 4 ogre, there'd have to be at least 3 noblars in the team as well. The first ogre is fine, but the other 3 have to be matched with noblars. Now, the noblars, of course, can take place of the 3 linemen, so you can have 3 noblars and not have 3 other linemen. They can double up as that piece. However, other teams have more specific restrictions. Basically, the big guys follow mostly the same rules that they do in the league. So in this team, for example, we can have an ogre, we can have a yeti, and we can have a tame bear. So potentially, 3 big guys in the team. Holy shit, that's scary and slightly overpowered. But it's not, because you can only actually field 1 of them, because normally they would be on their own. So you have a choice of any of the 3 of them, basically. Any of the 3 that you want to play. If a required team piece dies, that is a lineman or a stunty, they must be replaced at the next possible opportunity. So you have to have these players in the team if you can afford to keep them in the team. So if a lineman dies, your next purchase has to be a lineman. They have to be rostered wherever possible. Otherwise, the builds follow the standard builds of other teams basically, but with a mixed flavor. So every team follows this basic rule, unless otherwise mentioned. You have maximum of 4 blitzers of any flavor in the team, maximum of 4 catchers or runners of any flavor, and maximum of 2 throwers. So in this team specifically, let's have a look at this team's things talking about this. So Human League, finding them in the list, it's in group 2 in the sheet if you're following along, which as I said would be easier. You're limited to 1 big guy, so Yeti, Tame, Bear, or Ogre. Ulfs and Zerks count as Blitzer choice. Brett Blitzer counts as catcher choice, and Brett Blocker counts as lino choice. So if I want to actually, instead of taking those 3 Norsemen I took, though the Norsemen are better, I could take 3 of these guys instead, that are more expensive and not as good. So, logic. Blitzers count as catchers, so I can have up to 4 of these if I really want to, but I can't, for example, also have 2 Kislev catchers, I can't have 2 runners from the Norse team, can't have 2 catchers, if you get the idea. So 4 maximum of the mix, and the same for blitzers. So I can have human blitzers if I want, I can take the Kislev blitzers, or I can take Ulfs and Berserkers for a maximum of 4. The same with the Amazons in this team. And with throwers, maximum of 2, so I can have a human thrower if I want to, and a Norse thrower if I'm completely mad. These work as teams, but you can't take all of them, basically. That's how this works, and again, this is all explained in the sign-up sheet. If you are playing a mixed team, I would highly recommend you take 2 rerolls as your first purchase if you're not used to playing with mixed teams, and then build your team, just because when you get to the end you'll find out that you don't have enough money for rerolls. So that's a little tip if you do want to play a mixed team, and actually be somewhat competitive with them, somewhat being the key word, however. To be honest, I'm not sure how overpowered these mixed teams are going to be. Only testing will tell, but what else is Blood Bowl for? So let's just make a team very quickly. So we can have up to 4 blitzers. Let's take 2 Amazon blitzers. Let's take a Kislev blitzer. Where are you? And let's take a Berserker. There we go. There's our 4 blitzers. We can have up to 4 catchers or runners. So I don't really want 4. Let's take 2 human catchers and leave it at that. And we can have, and a blitzer, yes, and a Bretonian blitzer. Perfect. And we can have up to 2 throwers, but I don't want 2 throwers, so let's just take the... Yeah, let's take the Amazon thrower. There we go. I still had 150k in the bank. Team rerolls are 50k, so I could have up to 3 here. Humans aren't actually that expensive, to be fair. Though I can still take a big guy if I'm feeling nuts, but I'm not. So, confirm purchases. 1, 2, yeah, let's take 3. And done. There we go. Legal, but a bit shit. Mixed team. As you can see, they're not really too overpowered. It still follows the same basic thing, but they have a bit of a mixed flavor. So it's just adding a little bit of variety to your garden variety vanilla Dog's Bollocks Blitzball. I don't know why Dog's Bollocks vanilla and garden variety are in the same sentence there, but they are. I'm sticking with it, and that's that. And that's basically it in terms of teams. The structured league will be a little bit complex, but it does basically follow the same setup as other leagues. You'll be put into, hopefully this is the ideal, you'll be put into a 10-man Wisson division, excuse me, and you play up to 6 games in that division, like you would in a round robin, but your opponents will be somewhat randomized. The divisions will be decided, like I said earlier on, by different groupings, and they are mentioned in the sheet, and I think they're in the, yes, they're in point 4 in the sheet. So instead of going through all that, oh, I will go through it quickly. Basically, about a week before kickoff start, I will be deciding on one of these variants based on the signups that we have. If we have a good mix of leagues, then I'll probably choose variant 1 or variant 2. If we don't have a good mix of leagues, I'll probably take variant 3 or variant 4, just to make it a little bit clear who you're going to be facing. If you're in variant 1, you're mostly going to be facing similar races and similar teams. So all the humans are together, all of the elves are together, all of the what I call creatures are together, Orc, Lizard, Skaven, and Underworld. Then you have the Chaos and the Dwarfs in one group, and all the Undead together, and then all the mixed teams together. Stunties will always be in their own separate division, where possible, again. That's an important word. So Goblins, Ogres, Halflings, and Union of Small People will always be in their own division, unless we are using variant 4, which is the randomized tiers. And to explain this, because this has created some confusion amongst people reading, it's not completely randomized as in every team is going in separately, but the divisions as laid out in the above variants will be randomized. So you'll have basically 6 divisions of 4, roughly, and I'll take the divisions out of a hat. So for example, humans will come up, and then dwarves will come up, and then Amazons, and then undead, that's division 1, and so on. If for whatever reason we cannot fit any of these criteria, then we'll go to a fairly standard, random teams in random divisions. We'll see how the signups look when it's all done. There are already 10 people signed up to this league, and signups are open now. I will actually link Steam in the discussion right as I'm talking, which is always a bad idea because multitasking during a stream doesn't usually work very well when I'm trying to describe things. And also, of course, Steam doesn't like to play ball. But I will link it now if you're not already signed up and you want to sign up, or if you are already signed up, very important, we did change the rule list, so do have a look at the rules I've posted again just to make sure you're happy with the changes. The rules themselves haven't changed, but the layout and the way that it's basically described has changed. There it is. So for anybody who is interested in signing up and hasn't done so already, if my computer works, there we go. The link is going into chat right now. There we go. Chat is quite quiet on Twitch, so if you have any further questions in YouTube, then by all means ask me, or of course if you are in Discord, then feel free to PM myself, or just ask in the Open Invitational channel, so one of the admins can get to you and do their best to answer your questions. Thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in this new and exciting league, and getting my ass kicked by all of you probably. Either way, I'll leave that here for now. Thank you very much, and hope to see you on the pitch soon. Bye bye for now.